Okay, hello everybody. It's time to talk about the new season, the upcoming season of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It is going to be high caliber. And just a few hours ago, they did the full reveal panel for it. And I'm just going to let it play here. We'll see how far I actually get through it. But the sound's going to be off. I'm just going to talk about what's going on. So, the main things to note are, of course, the new operator. They are updating the map Outback. And then there's a few other changes in game as well. So, let's just start with, I guess, Outback. You can see what's going on here. If you played the map, you can maybe notice some of the differences. It seems improved, but I don't want to go in depth on it until I have access to it. And on that note, the test server will be going live tomorrow. I don't know what time exactly, but November 9th, today, of course, being November 8th. Again, November 9th, the test server will be up at some point. So pretty much all these changes, I think, should be live. And they said that their test server philosophy going forward is that they're going to do the reveal panel or whatever, and then they're going to the very next day put up the test server, and then over the course of the test server they might segment the different changes, like maybe the normal changes, and then at some point through the test server they're going to put more early access type stuff on there, like stuff that they're sort of working on or want to test out but don't know if they actually want to put it in the game, this type of stuff at some point. So this maybe sort of phasal or rolling out type process for the test server. Anyways, let's talk about the new operator. Her name is Thorn. She's from Ireland. Her gadget is, you can see it right there, a throwable sticky proximity explosive, and it doesn't instantly detonate when you walk in the radius, and it also doesn't instantly arm when you throw it. So you throw it down, and then it starts activating. Once it's active, if an attacker walks into the radius, it starts its explosive timer of, I mean, what's that, like a second or two or something, and anyone that's very close to it is going to die. Anyone that's pretty close to it is going to take a lot of damage, and then anyone, I guess, outside that range shouldn't take any damage, even though it looks like you probably should because shrapnel and stuff. But regardless, for in-game purposes, if you're outside the radius, you're safe. So it looks like it combos pretty well with barbed wire, with maybe goos. They mentioned the stuff, but with banshees, anything that'll slow you down. So, because once it starts going off, it'll kill you if you can't get out of the range. It's not bulletproof, so it'll die to not only explosives, but also bullets. You can melee it. You can get it with a Twitch drone or Zero's laser from his camera, and then Thatcher will disable it just like he does everything. And I guess that's pretty much it for the gadget. It looks like it might be strong, but not being bulletproof is always a minus. You know, some of the really, really powerful gadgets in the game are bulletproof, but they're trying to move away from having a lot of really strong bulletproof gadgets by either, nerfing the ones that are in the game or not putting new ones in. And as far as traps go, I mean, it looks really strong. Like you get 3 of them, and all of them can net a kill on their own. But not only that, it's a very forcing gadget. Once they walk through a doorway, and assuming when they have to walk through the doorway to get it, otherwise, they can use a frag or whatever. But a lot of places they're not going to be able to clear it, and you don't even have to just throw it on a wall. You can throw it on debris. You can throw it wherever you want. In a lot of really cheeky positions, you can throw it around like a default plant spot. So once they go in for a plant, they'll walk in the radius, and then they have to walk back out, let it explode, walk back in, all this stuff. But anyways, let's move on to the kit, and you can see it right there. So the primary submachine gun she has access to is an Uzi, the UZK, whatever it's called there, some funny name. But it has 22 in the mag, and I guess 23 when you count the one in the chamber. It shoots at 700. It does, I think, 44 damage, and it shoots 50 caliber rounds, so really high destruction there. And it looks like, I'm not 100% if it did or not, it might destroy the wooden bars, so you could actually make rotates with it. It's not going to be like the best for it, considering it's small mag, but you can do it if it's possible. I don't know. It is 50 cal, so maybe it has very similar destruction to Tachanka's LMG, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to test that once we get on the test server. But yeah, I went over the kit in a previous video because it was spoiled / leaked, but the official thing is out now. The recoil, I mean, they're controlling it, so you can't tell what it actually looks like. It doesn't look like the lowest, but it doesn't look terrible or anything. So it might be a solid gun. It is like assault rifle type damage and RPM. Of course, you have to note the damage profile, i.e. the damage drop off is going to be that of a submachine gun, but also being a submachine gun, you get the quicker ADS time. It looks like you have access to an angle grip. It looks like they're aiming in at the enhanced SMG speed that you get with an angle grip. So again, another thing we'll have to find out, but it looks like a good gun. And the other gun you get for the primary slot is the M870 shotgun that Jaeger and Bandit get access to. Maybe somebody else gets access to it too, but I think it's one of the best shotguns in the game. It's very good, but usually you don't see it a lot because they don't get access to a secondary submachine gun to complement it, but this operator actually does. In the secondary slot, you have either the 1911 Tech Ops, which is Maverick's pistol, or you have the C75 Auto, which Dokkaebi used to have, but now doesn't because she has the Gon 6, but Vigil has it, Callie has it. It's one of her 2 secondary SMGs. Maybe somebody else has it, but it's okay. It doesn't get a sight attachment on it, so you have to use these really terrible blocky iron sights. But as far as the auto SMG secondary SMG goes, the recoil isn't that terrible. Like it's better than like the SMG 12s is for sure. And it's just a little bit slower too. Only 1,000 compared to like 1,200 something ish for both the SMG 12 and 11, and then what's the other one shoot at the SMG SM SMG 9 or whatever it's called, the Cali one. I think it's like 980. Regardless, okay. Those are the guns that you get access to, and since, again, you get that secondary submachine gun, you can use that plus a shotgun. Kind of use the C75 at range. Definitely not long range, it'd be terrible there, but maybe like a mid-range and then the shotgun for close range, if you want to do that. Okay, let's move on, and let's talk about a couple things that they're changing balance-wise. So that bulletproof rework that was talked about a little while ago, I believe is coming in this patch. They mentioned it at one point, so that includes the ability to turn the bulletproof a little bit, and then you get access to that laser that is like the 0 laser, I think. Or no, I don't know if it's exactly like that. I think it's a disabling laser, so I don't know if it actually destroys stuff. I guess if they put a claymore in view, you could shoot that. Like if they use any sort of gadgets, I guess if they're droning in front of your camera and you can hit it, you can disable their drone. Again, not 100% sure if it destroys it or not, but nice little buff to the bulletproof, which is still a very solid gadget, just giving you extra visibility, also through smoke, which is relevant sometimes and not as relevant in other times. And then also, since we're on the topic of cameras, they are making the change to cameras where if a camera's outside, it will lose connection after a certain amount of time. It looked like from when they showed it is 10 seconds. So a drone, or not a drone, I guess a hack drone. If a Mozzie hack drone goes outside or an Echo drone, it's only like 3 seconds or 5 seconds or something. So I don't know if that's being normalized to 10 seconds, but for the cameras, so I guess that'd be bulletproof cameras, Maestro Evil Eyes, and Valkyrie cameras. So all the ones that are like cameras, but not controllable. Like, I guess like the Evil Eye is somewhat controllable, but you can actually drive around the Echo drone. Anyways, the ones that I mentioned can only be outside for like 10 seconds before they either just don't work, or I don't know if they blow up or whatever it is. So Valkyrie will not have the ability to just throw her cameras outside and let them sit there and run out whenever she wants. Like you can still make a play like that, but you have to throw it outside and then you have to get on it, and then you have to gather your information within the 10 seconds allotted to you. Otherwise, that camera is just lost. So nice little change to Valkyrie. People have wanted a Valkyrie nerf for the longest time because she's one of the most annoying operators to play against, and she gets banned a ton. And that's part of the reason why, especially at lower levels, it's really, really annoying when somebody just throws a camera outside and you get run out on because you don't know, you're not that good at dealing with it. You don't know where it is, this kind of stuff. It's, I suppose, an indirect nerf to IQ because that's one of the things IQ is really good at, quickly finding the cameras, not only inside the building, but outside the building, especially if you just pull out that scanner early in the round, just take a quick look around, you might find it. And also, as far as pro play goes, Consulate's out of the map pool now, which was perhaps the best Valkyrie camera map as far as outside cameras go, because you had the trees you could throw it in, which made it really, really hard to find them. And okay, so keep that in mind. It's not really that relevant for Bulletproof and Evil Eyes, like you're not putting them outside, but the Valkyrie cams, the Black Eyes, it is very relevant and a good change, I think. And what else do we have? HUD changes coming in, and again, I'll probably cover this more when I actually have the ability to access it myself. I assume it'll be on the test server, but they kind of show it off. You can actually change the color of your team and the enemy team. So I don't know about you guys. I'll probably just make my team blue. I don't know if it's just at the top, and in the kill feed. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I'll probably be making my team blue and the enemy team red. Just makes sense. But you can make them whatever color you want. It's also for the purpose of colorblind accessibility, this kind of stuff. And they said in the future they should be adding more colors because the current spectrum they have available to players isn't the best for colorblind. But so it's just a cool change regardless of the accessibility or not. And what else? Yeah, on the HUD, that the drone counter should be in that they mentioned before, and I don't know if it's going to show it on attack, but on defense, so whenever you shoot a drone, it'll alert your whole team basically, and you can see how many drones the enemy team should have. So that should be cool. That's, I mean, a very powerful tool for defenders. Currently in high level play, pro play or whatever, you try to keep track of drones you destroy. Like you'll count up or down or whatever to give yourself and your teammates an idea of how many drones might still come at you, what amount of drones could still be waiting on the flank, this sort of thing. And other than that, HUD, they said that they are trying to cut down or maybe even fully get rid of all the text on the HUD and just add icons. So you might need to get used to identifying what a few of the icons are, but most of it corresponds to the operator you're playing, so you should be aware of it anyways. If you have like an ability bar, like Warden or Clash or a few, who else would have it? Maybe a couple other operators. Knock, I guess. That'll be tracked on your screen. And then also, like for Captau and Zofia before, the only way to check which status your gadget was in. So, of course, you can switch back and forth between Captau's fire bolts and smoke bolts and Zofia's stun charges and explosive charges. And the reticle reflected it, but only when you had the gadget out. But now it'll show on your HUD which status it will be in when you pull it out. So that's very cool. And what else? Yeah, highly customizable. I think they showed off in a bunch of in the menu a bunch of settings that you could toggle on and off for the HUD. So very cool. And I think that's pretty much all the important stuff for HUD. Privacy settings. So they talked about they're adding a like streamer mode type deal, and at first it's just going to be for it's like going to be early access for some select streamers or something, but you can change your alias in game, so not only that it'll show for you maybe, but also definitely what it'll reflect for other people. So I'm not sure if it'll change like your view of your own name, but it'll change what other people see your name as, so to help with stream sniping and things like this. And I mean, okay, well, I'll talk about this in a second. Let me finish mentioning I skipped over Finka. Her gadget can now be used while she is down, so she will be able to stand back up, similar to the ability Zofia used to have, the withstand, but it makes sense on Finka. It just corresponds to her gadget. For Zofia, it was just an extra thing on top of her primary gadget of the launcher. So yeah, Finka can stand back up, but also, maybe to counteract this, but I mean, a lot of people are going to see this as a buff. The recoil reduction is no longer a thing, so when she activates her gadget, it's just the health and whatever other perks it gives. It no longer gives the recoil reduction, which messes up a lot of people in shooting. So a lot of people like that. But then also, if you think both of those are buffs, then there is a definitive nerf. The cooldown increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. And I got to give credit to CGG because I think a couple of these things were not mentioned in the reveal, but they had an article up almost right away, and I looked on there, and a few of the details I did pull from there, and I think that was one of them, the recoil thing and the cooldown thing. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the big balancing things that they mentioned. Maybe when they put out the full patch note, developer notes or whatever, there'll be a couple other changes. Maybe some secondary gadgets get switched around, or guns recoil. I don't know. Some other things should happen. But the thing I wanted to mention earlier, the elephant in the room people are very upset about, and rightfully so, is the issue of cheaters. So they are adding in this privacy thing, the alias system, nickname system, whatever it's called, to help combat stream sniping, but they didn't say anything in this about a new anti-cheat. And I swear I saw, I should mention that the R6 fix, I'll talk about it in a second. I swear I saw one of the devs saying something about they were working on something on Twitter. They were working with some other company I thought I saw that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making that. I swear I saw that though. But they didn't mention anything about an anti-cheat in this. And maybe if you only play the game at a low level or something, maybe you're not aware of the problem. But if you play at all at a high level, if you play on consoles, I mean, you're just getting absolutely flooded by mouse and key. You are. And yeah, it's just the biggest problem in the game by far. It just makes the game like unplayable, especially a very high level play. You're gonna run into a cheater almost every game when you're playing at champ level, diamond level, high plat level, maybe even. And it's just terrible. And the community would absolutely love to see them at least admit that they are, or well, I mean, they'd probably be pretty upset if they said they weren't working on it. But if they are working on something, please, details would be wonderful. anything to keep people going, because now it is it's rough. Okay. Right. And the R6 fix, which they're showing on the screen right now. Yeah, it's expanded. I've never used this before, so I don't actually know. Like I'd be reporting people in game that are doing some weird stuff. But and I guess this isn't to report cheaters, is it? It is for fixes, especially regarding the test server, I would imagine, but also on the live server if there's issues. Yeah, it looks like it's now easier to see what other people are saying, so you can see if the issue you're submitting has already been submitted by another player, and you should be able to get updates when the things you report are being looked into, and other time-based notifications like this, I guess. Maybe the system sucks and it just, I don't know. We'll have to see. I guess you'll have to use it and find out. And maybe it's they just tried to make it look cool or whatever. Maybe it'll be a good system. But it looks like, if nothing else, it looks better and it's more appealing to use. So we'll see how much it actually enables the devs to fix the things that get reported on R6X. Okay, so I think this video's run plenty long. I guess I'm not at 20 minutes, but I mean, it's probably pretty long considering how many changes there actually are. So yeah, again, test server out tomorrow, so hopefully I'll hop on there and check out a few of the things and maybe put up a video. Today, I think I might have 2 more videos coming out today. I'll probably talk about the games from the major today, and then also I kind of want to talk about the results of the Challenger League playoffs, who the winner was and all this stuff, which you may or may not know. So be on the lookout for those. If I actually get around to those today, I'm sure I'll do at least one. But also, if you haven't checked it out, check out that Skies video that I uploaded yesterday on Sunday, November 7th. I put quite a bit of work into that one, and I think it came out pretty well. It's probably the most high-quality video I have on the channel, I think. And certainly for the length of the video, it took a lot of hours, so I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on it, maybe a comment or whatever. So, okay, and then, you know, if you're watching this video right now and you're not subbed, feel free to sub. They've been trickling in the subs. It's been cool to see the number just slowly going up pretty consistently. And if you haven't, feel free to drop that, because I will be continuing to talk about all sorts of Siege stuff, from the changes to the game to especially the pro play of the game. So with all of that being said, I will catch you in the next video.